Addiction isn't a moral failure. It's not a lack of willpower. It's not a character flaw. Addiction is a pattern of seeking relief from discomfort, discontentment, and lower frequency emotional states, like fear, shame, grief, and overwhelm. When the inner world feels unbearable, the brain looks for anything that brings temporary relief: food, substances, scrolling, relationships, drama, validation, work, intensity. The pattern isn't about the thing, it's about the relief. The relief becomes the reward becomes the loop becomes the identity. Why we seek relief. When someone feels restless, irritable, discontent, empty, overwhelmed, numb, disconnected, the nervous system interprets this as danger. Addiction is the body saying, I don't know how to regulate this feeling on my own, so it reaches for something external. This is not weakness. This is physiology. Denial. Didn't even know I was lying. Denial is not deception. Denial is protection. It shields us from truths we don't yet have the capacity to face. Denial says, if I don't look at this, I don't have to feel it. It keeps the system from collapsing under the weight of reality. But denial also keeps us stuck in patterns that no longer work. The moment we acknowledge something isn't working anymore, we step into courage, the first indicator of change. Courage doesn't require perfection, it only requires honesty. The discomfort, irritability, and discontentment, these feelings are not the problem, they're signals. They are the body saying, there's a life inside you that you are not living yet. Addiction is often an attempt to soothe old wounds, avoid old memory silence, old pain, and escape old identities. We are not reacting to the present. We are ameliorating conditions from the past. The body remembers what the mind has forgotten. The chemical hijack, here's the part most people don't understand. When the craving hits, the body releases a cascade of chemicals: dopamine, cortisol, adrenaline, and endorphins. These chemicals override the rational mind. The person may think, I need to stop, but the body is screaming, I need relief now. The biological reaction wins. Not because the person is weak, because the body is faster than thought. This is why people say, I don't know why I did it. I promised myself I wouldn't. I meant it when I said I'd stop. They did mean it, but the chemistry took over. The path out, creating new patterns, healing addiction, is not about force. It's about raising the level of consciousness the pattern lives in. Here's how to move from desire to courage to acceptance. A. Desire to courage. Create space between the urge and the action. Practice pausing for 90 seconds. Let the chemical wave crest and fall. This urge is a signal, not a command. I can sit with this feeling for a moment. This interrupts the automatic loop. B. Courage to acceptance. Name the pattern without shame. Acknowledge the truth gently. This pattern makes sense given what I've lived through. I'm strong enough to look at it now. Naming dissolves denial. C. Acceptance to freedom. How to release the emotional charge and the biological attachment. Breathe work to regulate the nervous system. Movement to discharge stored energy. Journaling to process the emotional root. Self-soothing practices that don't involve the addictive behavior. Replacing the old reward with a new one. Creating micro habits of safety and self-trust. Reminding ourselves that this pattern protected me once. I don't need it anymore. One, choose differently now. Acceptance is not approval. Acceptance is understanding. Understanding is liberation. The goal, a life of freedom and joy. Freedom comes when the attachment dissolves. Joy comes when the nervous system no longer needs the addictive pattern to feel safe. The work is not about controlling the behavior. It's about healing the pain beneath it. When the emotional wound is tended to, the craving loses its power. When the nervous system feels safe, the body stops reaching for escape. When consciousness rises, the pattern falls away. Addiction is explained as a survival pattern where the body seeks relief from discomfort, and denial protects us until we have the courage to face the truth. Healing begins by creating space between urges, naming patterns without shame, and releasing the emotional and biological attachments so we can live with freedom and joy.